Hello, I'm Dick Huebner, President of the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council. Have you ever been so tense and stressed out that you felt you were barely hanging on by your last nerve? Do you ever wish you had a simple plan that allows you to efficiently handle life's curveballs? Do you want to know how to reduce or eliminate those chronic aches and pains that constantly nag at you? If you answered yes to any of these questions, the speaker will powerfully address your concerns. He's a former crew member aboard fast attack nuclear submarines, a Marine officer and naval aviator who flew from the decks of numerous aircraft carriers, and an entrepreneur whose company was recognized by Inc. magazine as one of the 500 fastest growing privately held corporations in America. I've said enough about this awesome person. So please allow me to introduce entrepreneur, author, and completely average golfer, Al Spinks.
Yeah, that's good.
What I'd like to do is, I'd like to ask you a question. Have you ever been driving on one of the freeways here locally, maybe the Beltway, and had someone in your passenger seat, and all of a sudden it starts to rain so hard that you can barely see the front of your vehicle? Okay. So what do? You know, what I do is I reach up and I turn up the windshield wipers to max speed, and typically that doesn't work. So then what you do, you slow down and you hope you don't get rammed in the rear or hit anybody else in the rear, correct? Now, imagine you're in the same rainstorm, you're in the cockpit of an aircraft, traveling at 200 miles an hour, and you're getting ready to touch down. Oh, by the way, your landing strip's only 400 feet long. It's bouncing up and down from 10 to 15 feet, and it's traveling at 30 miles an hour. Okay. What I'm describing is my approach to USS Midway one day in the middle of the Coral Sea. And so I was flying along with the pilot, Marty Brush, and I. We sat in the front. We sit in the front. It was an A6. We sit in the front, and we couldn't see anything. All of a sudden, we hear a voice on the radio that says, 623, call the ball. Now, the voice is from the LSO, and the LSO is the landing signal officer. And his only job in life is to provide directions to the crew in order to give them a safe landing aboard the ship. So, call the ball is carrier talk for, let us know if you can see the landing area and the visual aids we have to help you get there. Well, my response was, 624 is Clara, which means I can't see a ding-dong thing. Okay. So next thing we hear, in a very calm voice, the LSO says, Roger 624, Clara, keep her coming. Keep her coming? Are you crazy? You know, we got 30,000 pounds of fuel and steel ready to run into the back of this sucker. But we've been trained to trust the voice of the LSO because we know he knows what he's doing. So in the meantime, Marty and I came up with a plan. We modified our normal approach procedures, and instead of me providing airspeed lineup information, I looked outside of the canopy, and I looked down, and I said, water, 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 metal. Now, as soon as I said metal, Marty pulled back on the power, and we hoped that the tail hook would grab the arresting gear. Well, I'm here, it did, right? So anyway, so what's this story about? Is it about landing an aircraft on a carrier in almost impossible situation? Maybe. Is it about the teamwork necessary between among different resources and trust in these different resources to get a job done, to accomplish your task in the middle of a very difficult situation? Kind of, sort of. Well, how does that pertain to us? How does that apply to us? Well, what I'm here to share with you is that all of us have within us whatever it takes to accomplish our goals, regardless of external situations, okay? And before I'm done here today, I'm going to show you how making a small shift, just a small shift in the way you think about things, can provide major benefits in your health, finances, relationships, and life in general.